Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. In this episode we will leave the Swedish classic cuisine behind us and we will cook Austrian food today. I talk about Austrian Wienerschnitzel. This is my second time in my life that I cook this. But I hope you will enjoy it and I hope the result will be satisfying. So let's start cooking Austrian food, let's start cooking Wienerschnitzel. So the first thing we are doing is our veal stock. This will work as a base when we are making our potato salad. If you can, choose veal bones that contain a high amount of collagen, which in the cooking process will transform to gelatin and generate more body to the stock. Put your bones in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. They will stay there for at least 1.5 hours. Over to our vegetables. In this stock I'm using celery, parsnip, carrot, onion and leek. And we are also creating a bouquet containing leek, rosemary and thyme. When the veal bones have been in the oven for 45 minutes or so and start to take some color, it's important that you take them out and you turn them around and put them back in the oven for 45 minutes or so. And this is the result that you are looking for. Set the pot to medium heat and add oil and follow up with all your vegetables except the leek. Fry them on medium to high heat until they get some color. Add tomato paste and stir it and let it sit for a few more minutes. The point here is to make the tomato paste less acidic and more sweet. Add bay leaves, black pepper. Then deglaze your pot with red wine, stir it until all the good taste that you have in the bottom of the pot release. And now it's time to add the rest of our ingredients. Add the leek and then add the bouquet garni, follow up with all your veal bones. Now the next step will maybe seem strange to you. As you can see, this is ice. And the theory behind adding ice to the stock pot is simply because if you cool your bones and your vegetables down before you boil them, they will release more flavors. Boil this for around 8 to 9 hours and then it's time to remove the bones from the broth. If the broth gets too dry during the cooking time, you can add more water. The important here is to extract all the flavors from the bones. And to do that, the broth will need at least 8 to 9 hours. You can of course also boil this overnight. Now, this is the bones I'm left with, and as you can see, there's not much meat left on them. And make sure to squeeze out all the good flavors that you still have in the vegetables. And after that it's time to transform our broth to a stock. So put it back on medium heat and let it come to a boil. And then lower the temperature and let it simmer for 1 to 2 hours until it looks like this. And yes, I get it. Not everyone have the time and interest to make their own stock. You can buy it in the store instead of making it your own. However, it will not have the same taste as this one, so please try it. Now let it rest in the refrigerator overnight. And now it's time for our cranberry jam. First of all, we need orange juice. You can squeeze oranges and make it yourself or buy it in the store, it's up to you. Then we need cranberries, of course, to follow up with some sugar, your orange juice, water and lemon juice and orange zest. Let it come to a boil and after that you can reduce the temperature and let it simmer for around 20 to 25 minutes until the texture looks like this. And this is your cranberry jam. So now it's time to do our Austrian potato salad. It's important that you boil them with skin on, together with a generous amount of salt, of course. So when your potatoes are ready and fork tender, rinse them well, and then let them rest for 30 minutes with a paper towel on top of them and the lid. They should still be warm, but not warmer than you can handle when you peel them. And when our potatoes are boiled, peeled and sliced, it's time to start doing our dressing. For that we need our stock. Before we use this, remove the first layer on the surface. Put a few tablespoons into a pot on medium heat. Remember, the exact amount is in the description. And let this melt. It will return to its former glory in just a few minutes. Add water to the pot. Follow up with sunflower oil and white vinegar, tarragon mustard and honey. Sugar, salt and black pepper. Now whisk everything to combine and until all the sugar are dissolved, and then it's time to pour this over your potatoes. Add chives and stir it gently with a wooden spoon. Now let this rest for at least 30 minutes so it can absorb all the flavors from the dressing. And the time has come to start doing our Wienerschnitzel. This is my recommendation when it comes to the breadcrumbs. I recommend you to mix them so they get smaller than what you can usually buy from the store. And I also recommend you to buy breadcrumbs that contain milk. If they don't, we can solve this later. I will write about that in the description down below. Now it's time to set up our breading station. In the first baking dish, add your breadcrumbs. Follow up with flour and eggs. Another secret regarding Wienerschnitzel is to not mix your eggs too hard. And also, another tip, if you couldn't find breadcrumbs containing milk, you can just add a few tablespoons to the egg mixture. Now the time has come to cut our schnitzels. And this is a butterfly cut. I'm no knife master in any mean, but I will try to do my best to show you how you can do this. You're aiming for around 180 gram to 200 gram per schnitzel. Perfect. Now place your poor meat between two plastic bags and beat the crap out of it. Salt your schnitzel on both sides, even if I forgot to record this. A traditional Wienerschnitzel is fried in clarified butter, and we need a lot of it. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. The most traditional way of frying Wienerschnitzel is to use only clarified butter. But at least my preference is to use half clarified butter and half oil. The breading process is very simple. First coat your schnitzel in flour, and after that eggs, and lastly your breadcrumbs, like I show you here. The last part here will be to coat your schnitzel in breadcrumbs. And just one quick advice here. Be as gentle as you can when you coat it in breadcrumbs. The reason for that is that an authentic Wienerschnitzel should have a very fluffy exterior. Not like when you deep fry chicken or maybe other kind of protein. And when the oil butter mixture has reached a temperature of 185 degrees Celsius, it's time to deep fry your Wienerschnitzel. When you see some color on it, it's time to flip it around. The process shouldn't take longer time than 3 to 4 minutes in total. Okay, at least I'm very hungry, so let's plate this. Starting with the Wienerschnitzel, and then the potato salad, follow up with the cranberry jam and a slice of lemon. So okay, that's my Wienerschnitzel. And it's honestly, this is the second time in my life I try this. I eat it many times, but it's the second time in my life that I cook this. So as you can hear, hopefully it's still crispy, even if it has been on the plate now for maybe 10 minutes. So let's try this. Mm. Wow. Mm. Have to try it with the potato salad. Mm. Yeah. Mm. You don't need any red wine sauce or anything like that to this dish. It's delicious as they serve it in Austria. Mm. Okay. Now, me and my family will eat. Mm. So thank you for watching and take care. See you next time.